Time was fragile. It needed to be watched, taken care of. This was the ultimate job of the Time Lords. But were they worthy of such a task? Certainly time was something that was impactful to all races and species. The Time Lords proved ultimately that they would use any means necessary to win the war with the Daleks, and would become hated among most everyone. So if time impacted everyone, and the Time Lords couldn't be trusted, why shouldn't the Time Lords be destroyed? Let's take a look at one of the enemies of the Time Lords themselves, a terrorist organization known as Freetime. Freetime believed that no temporal power should have ultimate control over time itself. The races in the organization included humans, Yevnon, the Monan host, and even Gallifreyans. Perhaps the most notable figure in Freetime was Nepenthe, or Nepenthe, I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments, who was mostly known for threatening to use a Timonic fusion device, a device that was mostly described as a dirty bomb, or napalm on the timeline. Luckily, it would never be detonated. Though it's hard to argue with the rationale of Freetime itself. As we look at the war, the temporal powers ultimately did not seem to hold the safety and protection of the lesser races with any regard. The Great Time War saw entire civilizations destroyed. Even worse, some civilizations would be born to die horrific deaths, only to be reborn again, over and over and over. So while many could empathize with Freetime's rationale, ultimately the group was a terrorist organization. They infiltrated both Gallifrey and her allies in order to sow discontent. Additionally, through the help of the Daleks, Freetime was able to create the Dogma virus. This virus would lay dormant in a Time Lord, until they regenerated, of course, and then would cause the Time Lord to become a zombie. This was devastating, both to the economy and the morale of the Time Lords. It must have been scary to know that if you died, you would turn into a zombie that would kill someone else who would die and turn into a zombie. It also left the Time Lords with the choice of either attempting to let their entire civilization die off and use a DNA archive to regenerate, or use a cure that would stop the virus but also stop regeneration altogether. Freetime had no scruples about using force, killing indiscriminately, and infecting those who were not directly involved in the conflicts to stop the quote-unquote lock that the temporal powers had on time. Unfortunately, it was discovered that they were being used as pawns by the Daleks in a grander scheme. They were no more than a tool to be used in the killing. But an effective tool they were. Freetime would be successful in assisting with the downfall of the Time Lords, helping to lead the Time Lords and their allies into utter ruin and on the defensive against the Dalek Empire. Though many would argue that Freetime itself pushed the Time Lords into becoming the very threat that the Freetime was trying to prevent. What do you guys think? Was Freetime in the right? Were they a terrorist organization? Do the ends justify the means? Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned as we take a deeper look at the Time War itself. Okay guys, thanks so much. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I do this for a living, so if you like what I do and don't want me to go back to working for a corporation, please help the channel grow. Share this channel and video with anyone you think would like it. And guys, I'm going to see you on the next.